Okay, so something that I said we would tackle, and I'm going to change when it happens here. Actually, we've changed a few things. So we'll let you know after lunch what's going on. But I mentioned talking about when you go back home, what are some things you can do to help yourself and help your family and figure that side out. So I'm going to give you some of that right now, okay? Oh, thank you. I got that a couple minutes ago. Finishing up something really quick here. All right. First, we're going to talk about confirmation bias. I was talking about this with Joseph this morning. Anyone know what confirmation bias is?
When you find what you're looking for, what you already believe.
Yeah. When you find what you already believe. That's a great explanation of it. So I get into patterns as well. I get into patterns of only using black pens all the time. And that's why I'm starting to use colors here, because I'm trying to disrupt my practice. Disrupting patterns typically focuses us to engage our conscious mind in a different way. And I want to do that every once in a while. I don't do it all the time. There are times where I'm happy with my patterns. Okay? I'm happy with certain patterns in my life, because they just make things easier. But there are other patterns where sometimes I want to rethink them a little bit. Okay? So confirmation bias. And I want to give you a bunch of examples, okay? So the example that I gave Joseph this morning was my dad. My dad's racist. And if you asked him, he's not. Because he says, oh, I have people from different nationalities or whatever that I'm comfortable with. And I go, it doesn't matter if you're comfortable. It's almost the definition of being the dominant people group is that you're comfortable. It's how you're thinking and how you're treating people and how what your belief systems are. Now, my dad isn't like KKK racist. He's the subtle Canadian racist. Okay? So you most often won't hear about it, but you'll hear about it at family dinners, at certain times, when he's talking about a story from the day. One time he said to me, and I don't remember exactly what this was, so I'm just going to make up a people group, okay? I'm positive this wasn't exactly what it was, but it gives the example. So he said something like, man, female Asian drivers are horrible. They're the worst people on the road. I said, Dad, I'd like to challenge you on that. I said, they're not the worst on the road. He said, they absolutely are. I noticed every single time it's a horrible driver, it's an Asian woman. Okay? And so I said, listen, what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention for the next couple of weeks about the worst drivers and see if they're all Asian women. So a couple weeks later, we were getting together, and he said, oh, by the way, I did your homework. And sure enough, they're all bad Asian women drivers. Okay?
Every last room.
And so I said, Dad, this is what I want you to do, okay? This is what I want you to do. I want you to put up a chart. He loves having little things to do in his vehicle or whatever. So he has like chart. My dad's a spreadsheet nerd. So if he can set up a spreadsheet for anything, he's exciting. So I gave him exciting homework. I said, set up a spreadsheet. Just in your paper spreadsheet in your car, and write all these categories of people. So all the races of people down the side, and at the top put age, sex, whatever. So I was trying to figure out exactly, categorize where everyone is fitting. And I said, whenever you see a terrible driver, what I want you to do is just put a little check mark beside that person. Okay? Well, guess what happened? Next time I talked to him, I don't know how long it was after that, he said, Mark, I was wrong.
It's all Asians.
I said, what he said was, white males between 30 and 40 years old are the worst drivers, or 30 and 50, or whatever he said. He said something along those lines. I said, I know. He said, what was going on? I said, it's called confirmation bias. When you believe something, your subconscious mind looks for more of that same thing. When you believe something, your subconscious mind is always running that search engine in the background, looking for those type of things. So I'm going to give you some examples. Bad drivers. Okay, if you believe bad drivers are all a certain way, then you will notice them more. Because what your mind will do is when you see someone cut you off or whatever, and they don't fit your belief system, they just get put into the archive, the deleted emails. Okay? They're not something you need to pay attention to. Your subconscious mind knows that what it needs to pay attention is Asian females. And so when you see the Asian female and she is a bad driver, that's what you focus on. And by the end of the trip, you're like, yeah, I saw 2 of them today. All the bad drivers are Asian females. Okay, that's what our minds do. And so I'm showing you this for 2 different reasons. One is so you become more aware of what you're doing, and secondly, to be more aware and conscious and intentional about where you want to be, how you use this to your advantage. Okay, so let's give some more examples. Another example is bad luck comes in 3s. If you believe, if that's been told to you, then automatically you will start searching for a few things. If it's number 3, you'll look back and go, yeah, I've already had 2, so I'm clear, and then you won't notice them anymore. If
Unless
it's the
you have
first one,
4, then you're anticipating 2 more.
if it's the first one of the day, then you'll be looking for 2 more bad things to happen that day. And you will pick up on something that is usually not even a big deal. You will remember it and go, see, 3 things. Confirmation bias can be really destructive for humans because it can reconfirm completely erroneous, completely wrong belief systems that we have. Another example, 13 is an unlucky number. When a black cat crosses your path, or when don't walk under a ladder, or if you step on a spider, it'll rain. Guess what? If you step on a spider and you believe it'll rain, even if it doesn't rain that day or that week or that month, when it does rain, you'll be like, see?
It's rain the same year.
Yeah, that spider. Right? That's what happens with our minds. So it plays crazy tricks on us if we're getting off track and in wrong ways, all right? Rabbit's feet are good luck.
Not for the rabbit.
Not for the rabbit.
But is that not a positive one though? Can you use these things as positive though too? Yeah.
So I'll get there. I'll get about how you can use all of this stuff in a positive way and bring it back into what we've been talking about the first 2 days. You will start to pick up on things. What was it? There was something I was doing. Maybe it was last year when I was trying to look every day for those flights for Hawaii. But there was a certain pattern that I was doing last year, and I started to notice, oh, this happens more frequently. And as soon as I started noticing that it happens more frequently, or believing that it happens more frequently, all of a sudden it started happening way more frequently. I was like, these guys, whenever I check on this flight, they raise the prices for me. Or I don't remember exactly what it was. And I started running away with this conspiracy theory that when I actually went like, wait a second, is this true? And started to set up a system. What?
It is true, actually.
Well, so it is true. It is true on a certain level. Having said that, when I started setting up a system and checking in a different way, I realized that there was a way that I could do it where it wouldn't raise, and it was okay for me. And this happens all the time. Okay. So this is the problem: is that there are times where something is happening. There are times where advertisers, so Facebook, I learned this just a few weeks ago. Facebook, if you don't log out of Facebook, it tracks all your other internet activity and searches. And then, based on your searches, gives you certain advertisements. It's profiling you and then giving you advertisements. Now, this can be used to your advantage. When you advertise on Facebook, you get really specific about what people are on. But it's a good idea to log out. Now, I tell you that, and if you're a conspiracy theorist, you go, see? See? Right? If you're not a conspiracy theorist, you go, oh, I need to be careful about that. Or, I don't care. Or whatever, right? Another
I got one of those. I was working in Edmonton, and the guy I worked for was, lack of a better word, kind of anal, picks up on weird things.
Yeah.
And I'd sneeze 3 times. He's like, you notice if you sneeze once, you sneeze 3 times. Never thought about it before, but to this day, I sneeze 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story on the same level. My cousin, I've got a cousin who's a little bit odd. And one time he said, Mark, have you ever noticed that when you pick your nose, if you smell it, snot or boogers have a smell to them. And I was like, why are you telling me this?
This is a joke.
No, so he was completely serious, okay? And for the next little while, I kept noticing it. I'm like, how do I get this out of my head? Because I don't care about this. It's not something that's important to me. I'm wasting my life sniffing my own snot, right? And now I don't notice anymore, okay? Because it's out of my subconscious mind. But someone just talking about it can bring it up. What are some other examples from other people?
13. When I'm on the treadmill or on the bike, I skip the number 13.
Okay.
I go from 12 or 12 and a half to 14 or
Yep.
12 to 14, but I
Yep.
never go 13 on the bike.
Is there any other 13 that comes up in other parts of your life?
The number 13 on a hockey jersey, not a chance. Football jersey, not a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about a hotel room?
Nope.
13th floor?
Nope.
There usually is no 13
Yeah,
room or
very,
13th floor.
very, very
Yeah.
So here's a way to battle this.
13 is 14.
A way to battle this is to actually pick the thing that you're afraid of or the thing that's coming up a lot and prove to yourself that it's not a big deal. So like for me, I went through a time where I was like 18 or 19 years old and my friends were talking about 13 for some reason, and they were talking about it as if it's a real legitimate problem. And so I said, I'm gonna prove it to you. So for the rest of my high school, basically, I just kept on doing it. Like if I had any chance at all, I picked 13. And I was doing better than them at a lot of different things, and when it came to sports, and not when it came to school. And so I was trying to prove it to them. But here's the cool thing, or the crazy thing, and the cool thing, is that you will not be able to convince somebody else. It doesn't matter if you change it for yourself. If somebody else believes it, it doesn't matter. They will believe it, period. What are the examples of how you see that in your own life?
Would that be bad?
Good or bad?
I have good weather every time I travel.
Perfect.
Always.
Yeah.
I did 2 months across Canada and not a single rain day.
Wow.
This is good weather.
Liquid sunshine.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's your,
No.
no matter what, it's
But I'm
good.
not outside doing physical stuff. But
Yeah.
if I was like outside, living outside for right now, it would be beautiful weather.
Yeah.
It's a big one with boats. Not myself, but banana on the boat. I don't know if you guys have ever go back in history, where if you bring a banana onto the boat, means trouble's coming. And I guess it used to be that the boats come in and they would crash and they'd find the boat, the bananas floating in the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, fishermen on the west coast, there's no bananas on boats.
Really? Zero chance they're gonna take a banana.
Yeah, they get all, and they're looking for it. They're
Yeah.
looking like fish are not biting or something's going wrong. It's that damn.
Did anyone bring a banana?
Banana
Look at the
bread.
new guy. Look at the new guy, right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't bring one down.
Well, yeah, we can't change the guy that's driving the boat, but I want to keep him happy.
Yeah.
Keep your bananas
But
hidden.
that's another great example of something something's going wrong, where's the banana? There's gotta be a banana somewhere. Okay? That's another example. We're gonna have lots of good examples later.
I used to be women in mines, women on ships.
Huh. In what way?
Well, they've been replaced by bananas, I hear, now on the West Coast. but-
Yeah.
I try not walking under things at all costs, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Under ladders, scaffolding.
Yeah. So some things are just like odd fears that we have, right? But then we start looking for them. Right?
This may not be the right time or place to have this part of the conversation, but we start looking for things to blame or make excuses upon for the results that are happening.
Yeah.
But that is in our own personal lives too. So a big part, I think what's gonna happen, especially after the Big Leap book, is that you're gonna have to, if you really wanna get the most out of this, not just the book, but the event and your life, you have to start taking accountability for yourself and your actions. And stop blaming other people, stop blaming the weather, stop blaming the circumstances. Doesn't matter what's happening outside of you, it's you that are 100% responsible for what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
That comes back to your employees as well. And even though your employee might screw up, ultimately, you're responsible. You're the leader, you're the responsible one.
So let me get this right. You're saying it's not bananas? My bad luck is not these.
Not bananas. Yeah, they're all gone. I'll take them all.
Horoscopes are a great way to understand this, or fortune cookies. I often will hear somebody say, I had a fortune cookie that said this and this happened. Now listen, when somebody says that to me, I don't should all over them, like you shouldn't do this or you should do this. What I say is, great. Because listen, for that person, that's a spiritual moment, okay? You go, this said this, and I found this right person, and it's all coming together. That's great. So I'm not trying to disrupt everyone's spirituality here, okay? By spirituality, I don't mean religion. I mean just belief system about whatever. That's not what I'm doing. But give an example. So say you wake up in the morning, and it's you read your horoscope, and it says you are going to meet somebody that changes your life today. What is confirmation bias going to be doing for the rest of the day?
Looking for this person.
Looking for who is the person, not will I find. Who is the person?
Might force somebody who wasn't gonna go out that day.
Right, right. So then you come across, so say you get this in your horoscope, and you're searching online, and it's been tracking your history, and you come across just out of the blue today. There's like a Tony Robbins video, and you click on the Tony Robbins video, and it speaks directly to you. It just hits you in the gut, and you're like, this is the change. And you order all of his programs, or his first program, or whatever it is. That's confirmation bias at work. Now, it's not all good, it's not all bad. It's actually not good or bad, okay? Again, it leads you in directions. Becoming aware of it, there are advantages and disadvantages to it. So we've talked about some of the disadvantages. I'm going to talk about the advantage. Oh, one other one that I've heard often is I'm cursed. I've heard so many people say, I'm cursed. When you believe that, you're looking for failure. And you're not looking for failure like, how can I learn from this? You're looking for failure like, when will it happen to destroy my dreams for today? That's what your confirmation bias is looking for, okay? So let's give you some other examples.
Most people are miserable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It radiates, yeah.
I'd like to share a real life example of that, which, so we took our family to Florida, Disney World, and we brought everybody back a trinket. And our middle daughter, Mandy, her nickname was Demanda. That's her personality, but if anything happens, it's woe is me, right? So what's the Disney character that woe is me is related to? Eeyore. Exactly. So here's this beautiful mug with Eeyore on it. So we buy it for her, and this is her mug. And she recently had a situation in her life. She had to go do some therapy and whatnot, and it came up. This mug that she had since childhood has been her mug, and it's woe is me. So her task was to go home and smash the mug.
Yep.
Yeah, so we gave it to her in love. Had no idea the impact it was having on her for the rest of her life, though.
I used to pick on my sister in what I thought was a loving way, 7 years younger than me. I used to say that she had a pug nose. I didn't even know what that meant when I was little, okay? And there's nothing wrong with her nose. She has a really cute nose. But I said, you have this pug nose, and I would give her a hard time about it. She came to me years later, we were both adults, she came to me years later and says, I still struggle with when people look at me, that they're looking at my nose, that there's something wrong with it. When we plant an idea in somebody's mind, or in our own mind, it comes up, and it starts to bias how we look at the world. It starts to change how we view the world. How many of you had the circumstance, this happens a lot in junior high and high school, but circumstance even today, where when somebody laughs, you immediately look up to them and assume that they're laughing at you? This happens a lot of times. I've noticed it this weekend. I'll be talking with somebody, and they'll share something sensitive, or they'll share something that hits them a little bit deeper, and there's laughter in another room, and they immediately look, and I'm going, oh, subconsciously, we're on alert. Is that person laughing at me?
And something else that just happened this morning when I picked up the group at Nancy's house was sarcastic humor. I'm notorious for that. That's how I grew up. And that's how I show signs of affection, is through sarcastic humor. But we have no idea how negatively that impacts the other person.
Yeah, how it hits them that day.
Consciously tried to stop it, believe it or not. Sorry, Brad. I apologize. That was funny.
But then again, that I laugh.
So it's funny because you said that, and I called him on it, right? Like so he when you say someone, oh, that's someone with the army guy being late or wannabe army guy,
Wannabe
that's
military
wannabe
guy.
military
Yeah.
guy I was the last one coming down the stairs, and I said, well, that's really nice that you're picking on me because it means that I know that you like me, that you're comfortable with me, because otherwise you wouldn't do that. So.
So on one level, it's a comfort, because you know that you're being accepted. But on another level, you never know whether that comment really hit, deep down hurt.
Well, that's something like I'm working on too, because you're gonna believe it or not, you're not the only sarcastic person in my life.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the advantage in it, and that's an advantage. Usually, if somebody's really comfortable with you, they'll feel comfortable to joke around with you and say things like that. But you're right. Like, there are people that, good one, Ken. But it's whoever.
Well, Joseph is a perfect example, because, I have this wicked sarcastic humor, and a couple times Joseph, I can tell that he doesn't know if I'm serious or not.
I was gonna say get in line for therapy, but it's
And
all
my
positive
kids
now.
Yeah, my kids used to hate bringing potential boyfriends home, because his dad, they don't get that, and they're intimidated by it. And so we have to be aware of that.
So this is a perfect example of confirmation bias. Is Brad assumes, he's trained himself to assume that when somebody is being sarcastic, that they're accepting him.
I'm working on it.
Ooh, that's gonna put you on edge now, isn't it?
Because there are different ways to interpret that, right? Passive aggressive communication, which is what sarcasm is a way Canadians are actually quite good at it. And it comes for lots of reasons. One reason is to accept. You go to sports teams and sarcasm is used a lot to say kind of you're in, right? And it changes based on who's in and who's out. But there's also other reasons, like Ken, what's your reason for using sarcasm? A lot of the time.
Yeah, well, it's to show affection,
Yep.
because I don't know how to show it other ways, and I'm not comfortable showing it other ways.
Yes, it's discomfort.
Yeah.
Would this be true as well? And obviously it would be. I find not older generation, but people that could be your grandparents or our parents, that when they're teasing you about weight or anything like that, it's almost to make conversation, but they, to understand that's been really difficult.
I am going to be doing a
Behaviors.
webinar on communication for all of my clients. It's something that's come up a number of times. When I do that webinar, examples like that will come up. And I'll talk about passive aggressive communication, what it means and how people deal with it and all that kind of stuff, okay?